What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm waiverwirequeen, and we have a very special guest. Abutta is in the building. What's going on?
Going on, people.
So Abutta has joined us today because he is going to give us his top 5 rookie running backs going into the 2022 fantasy football season, and he's going to drop some gems for you guys to help you prepare for your draft so you make sure you are drafting the right running backs at the right spot in the draft. Let's get right into it.
Welcome to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast with Waiver Wire Queen.
Yeah, so Abutta is about to give us a really good group of running backs. I do believe this group is a little bit deeper than some believe, and he's going to give us a few sleepers. He's just going to drop all the gems for you guys. Let's kick this thing off. So there's no surprises here at the top of your list. You got Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, number 1.
And tell us a little bit about why you got Breece Hall at the top of your list.
I have Breece Hall at the top of my list because physically I think he'll be the most imposing out of all of these backs. He just has a brand of football at the running back position that I like. When you turn on the film and you watch Breece Hall, he's a load. He looks like he's very rough to take down, and that's something that you want to have in your running back. Somebody who could wear the defense down, something that continuously keeps the clock going. You wearing the defense down for 4 quarters, and almost Derrick Henry-esque. I won't go so far as to say he runs like Derrick Henry, but that brand of bruising power running is Breece Hall, and I like that.
Okay. Best landing spot for Breece Hall.
The Buffalo Bills. I believe he could go into Buffalo and he can take the starting job immediately. Singletary and Zach Moss are trash. It's time to let it go.
Bills Mafia would be happy with this pick. Moss, just complete buzz. Obviously, both of them were a buzz, but Moss, I'm not even sure he's been on the field much. Injuries, when he has had the opportunity, just hasn't worked. So this would be a good move for them. Obviously, Hall, to me, would be the day one starter. That's just my opinion. All right, you got Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker is the most complete back in this draft. He would be my number 1, except backs that do as much as he does in the NFL. It gets a little tricky. It gets a little scary because they tend to get hurt a lot, and the shelf life of a running back in the NFL is very, 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 very short. You see it all the time especially with these combo running backs that you can line them up out wide and have them catch out of the backfield. They take a whole lot more wear and tear for some reason than guys who just straight line runners. I don't know what it is. It could be just because they're being overworked. But Kenneth Walker, as far as I'm concerned, like, he was the best running back in college football, and there's nothing to dislike about his game. He's explosive. As soon as he can take it to the house, and they used him pretty much doing everything. Like, there's no flaws in his game. There's nothing to dislike about his game. So it's not a knock that I have him at number 2. It could go either way. As far as I'm concerned, Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, it strictly comes down to preference. If Breece Hall gets more into a role where they use him in the passing game, kind of like Najee Harris. I didn't think Najee Harris was going to be all that good in the passing game, and it turns out they were able to use him in the passing game. So Breece Hall could probably end up doing the same thing. But Kenneth Walker right now is the most complete back. He would be he would be the go-to as far as I'm concerned.
Best landing spot for Walker?
The Houston Texans. They don't have the Houston Texans running back stable. I won't go so far as to call it trash because I'm fond of Marlon Mack, but I do believe he's taken too much punishment, and I don't think he'll ever get back to what he was 2 years ago. So I think Kenneth Walker could come in there. If the Houston Texans are serious about Davis Mills, he'd be the perfect complementary back in that situation.
Yeah, I like Marlon Mack, but yeah, the injuries have pretty much killed his career. He's unable to stay healthy, and health is wealth. Availability is obviously one of the most important things, especially from a fantasy standpoint, because I don't care how many points you bring every week. If you aren't playing, you're no good to me. Kind of like you see with CMC. You could be a top back 2 years ago, but
right,
you're not even playing. So this would be a good move for them, because last season at the running back position, it was a hot mess. If they don't draft Walker, they're going to have to add a running back at some point, because it simply cannot be just Marlon Mack. So this would definitely be a great move for them.
right.
And I like Kenneth Walker. I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth too, because he seems more explosive to me than Hall, but I don't know yet. I do think the safe pick for me is most likely going to be Hall in my rebuild league. But like I said, I don't know. I might just do something crazy that draft. But whatever it is, it has to work. So this is a great spot for Walker. Number 3, Kyren Williams.
Yes. I love his running style as well. He definitely gets up into the second. He gets up into that second tier, and he's a load, man. He's hard to take down. He fights for yards. I love what I see from him. Absolutely love what I see from him. I know, things get muddy when you start talking about players coming out of Notre Dame. People tend to think that Notre Dame players are a little bit overrated because, of course, they handpick their schedule. So you get, a lot of people feel like you're not seeing the absolute best out of these guys because they're not playing the absolute best. But I'm big on running style, and I like his running style.
Okay, do you think the combine hurt his stock?
No, not really. I don't think he had a favorable 40, but most running backs don't have favorable 40s anyway. Everybody's not going to be a physical specimen like Breece Hall, but the thing is that when he gets into his second gear, that's the difference. Like, some guys play fast. When he hits his second gear, he is fast. So that's where I think the distinction is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he ran a 4.65.
Right, which is pretty slow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very, very slow. Coming in at number 4, someone who I am close to fading this year, Isaiah Spiller.
Isaiah Spiller, man, look, we talked about Isaiah Spiller before, and I had to go back and watch some more Isaiah Spiller because I felt like he was tripping, and I still kind of feel like he's tripping. Isaiah Spiller, not a comparison, just what I see and what I remember watching running backs, and just from watching him, he gives me Alfred Morris vibes. Like, those first 2 seasons in Washington, the thing that Alfred Morris was good at was positive yards. You never seen him going backwards. You never seen him losing yardage. And that's what I see from Isaiah Spiller. You ain't going to see a lot of breaks, 30, 40-yard touchdowns. He's breaking 80. Like, you're not going to see that. But what you're going to see is positive yardage. He's going to keep the chains moving. He's going to always be going forward. And I favor that. I just like that run style. I like that. That, to me, that's a key trait to have for any player in the NFL, somebody who is able to keep the chains moving.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I love the explosive running back, but before the season, I was high on Spiller. But yeah, I think if he was to fall at the end of the first, maybe early second, I would probably take a chance on him. But then again, I don't know, because I do feel like there's some really good running backs that's going to be drafted in the second round, and I'll be targeting a few of those in my rebuild dynasty league. So I don't know, but I feel like if I was to come away with Hall or Walker, then I'm not going to draft Spiller unless he's just in a a position in the draft where I'm like shocked, like it's the third round, even though I don't think he'll be there in the third. He's gonna get drafted. If not late first, most likely second. So best landing spot for Isaiah Spiller.
Folks ain't gonna like this one, but I think the best landing space for Isaiah Spiller would be the New York Football Giants. I know, a lot of people love Saquon Barkley. They want to believe that he's going to turn it around, but I just don't see it. I think Isaiah Spiller could come in, and of course he could be a complement to Saquon Barkley for a year, and he'll be a change of pace for Saquon Barkley. But ultimately, I think he could come in and be the bell cow in that offense.
Well, me being a Giants fan, I know that this is most likely going to be it for Saquon Barkley. So I know they're definitely going to add a running back or two this draft. I know they've been looking at Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother, James Cook. So they are searching trust. So I'm curious to see where he goes and how that works out. If it was the Giants, cool, because we are addressing that offensive line, so that's going to be a plus for him too. And coming in at number 5, a little surprise here, Zamir White.
Zamir White. I love watching Georgia play football this year. I thought they had an amazing run game. And there's nothing really to dislike about the job that James Cook and Zamir White did. I favor Zamir White more. I feel like he can come in. He's scrappy. I love him in the open field. He's very, very tough to bring down in the open field. And I just think that he could come in and be a very, very solid running back for any team.
Okay. And so why do you favor him over Cook?
I think you can do more with White than you can with Cook. Not to say that Cook is limited, but I just believe that you can do more things in the offense with White.
Okay. Best landing spot for Zamir White.
The Jets. I know they drafted Michael Carter last year, but I don't think that he's going to be a every down back. I don't think he can be just the guy that's the guy, the bell cow. He worked in tandem in college with Javonte Williams, and I think this would be a similar situation if you brought in a Zamir White. I think it'll help, prolong, like we said, shelf life for a running back. So I definitely think those two would be a nice tandem for the Jets. And, of course, you can't have too many running backs and you can't have too many weapons. So I think he'd be a great fit for the Jets.
That'd be good. I think that's a good destination for him. So let's get ready to get some questions. This is going to be the part of the episode where you're going to be dropping a whole bunch of gems for our viewers. Give me 2 late round sleepers.
I'm going to go with Zenovian Knight from North Carolina State. That guy, I hate comparisons, but just from watching him, who he reminds me of, and it's funny because they wear the same number. He reminds me of Damian Harris from the New England Patriots. Tough runner, tough between the tackles runner, always moving forward. I like plus yardage, somebody who's going to always move the chains. He's scrappy. He looks like he would. I don't have him going to New England as a destination, but he's a New England type running back. He fits that mold. So that's why I say he reminds me of Damian Harris.
And to me, that's not a bad comparison. Harris is, to me, solid. You need that type of running back on your team in fantasy as well, because not everyone is going to be able to get Najee Harris or Javonte Williams or Jonathan Taylor. You have to have other pieces, and it may not be the top running back. The only thing with Harris is health, but when he's out there, very productive. So that's not a good comparison. And if that is what he actually turns into, that's still to me late, because in most mocks he's going undrafted.
Right.
So that's a good one. Give me another running back.
Another sleeper running back, I would say Keontae Ingram from USC. I definitely like his game. I think I like scrappy running backs. I like guys who will get down in there. They can run between the tackles and they'll go. I love scrappy running backs. Of course, with him, he's probably going to be a late, maybe undrafted rookie. So he's somebody that you could probably stash. Somebody you could pick up late. Maybe come into a situation like a Elijah Mitchell did in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I see him at. But like I said, I watched a lot of USC last year because Keaton Slovis was my favorite quarterback. So
dropping gems for 2023.
Keaton Slovis.
What about Jerome Ford?
I'm not a fan. His name is catching some hype, but I'm not too much of a fan. Jerome Ford, Rashawn White, those guys pretty much came from out of nowhere, and I don't really like guys like that I don't, that come from out of nowhere. Those workout warriors, those combine guys who come out and then everybody falls in love with them. So I'm not really too much up on them. I wouldn't, if you gotta, then cool, but yeah.
Yeah, White is most likely going mid-second, late second round.
More than likely.
Yeah, and then what about Strong?
Pierre Strong?
Mm-hmm.
I would look, man. He ain't Pierre Strong is gonna be lucky to make a roster. Look, y'all, you got Pierre Strong. What's that kid's name? Damian Pierce. Like these are guys that would be like, if they'll probably be undrafted free agents if they make rosters. Like I'm not pegging them as fantasy relevant unless they go into a situation like San Francisco where everybody gets hurt and everybody gets a turn, or Baltimore where everybody gets hurt and everybody gets a turn. I'm not like those guys aren't even on my radar.
I feel you. Most overrated, overvalued running back in this class.
I think this is a appropriately rated running back class. I think this is a very, very decent group, at least in the top 5 to 7. I think that group is actually, no, I take that back. Brian Robinson Jr. is the most overrated runner. I almost forgot about that guy just that fast. Brian Robinson is completely overrated. There's nothing special about him. When you turn on the Alabama film, there's nothing special about Brian Robinson Jr. He's just an Alabama running back. So he's coming in with the cachet because Alabama's had a run on decent running backs. So he's coming in with the cachet. But as far as I'm concerned, ain't nothing special about Brian Robinson Jr.
Okay. Yeah, I think somebody's going to reach on him. And when I mean reach, I don't mean third round reach. I'm talking second round reach. And that's going to be a disaster. But I'm all for it because that's only going to leave some more good players on the board for me. There's going to be some reaching in this draft based on where some of these players go, and it's not going to work. With him, if he can go to a nice situation, and for me, I'm talking about a playoff team, and they need a running back, he may be okay, but late. Or if undrafted, you may take a chance on him on waivers because 1 week he's a starter or he's getting some time. But other than that, he's not someone I'm not looking. I'm not checking for him.
Right.
I'm just not.
Sounds about right.
Not on my list. Did we say biggest bust potential?
Biggest bust potential. I would say Breece Hall has the biggest bust potential just because he benefited the most from his combine workout. Mm-hmm. And he's more of a physical specimen. So it's kind of like, I think he's 6'1", 230.
He's big.
And he ran a 4.3. He ran as fast as the wide receivers did. So he's gifted.
Yes.
So the expectations for him are going to be high. Breece Hall's expectations are going to be especially if he goes to Buffalo. That's already a playoff contender, and all they're really missing is a running back. His expectations are going to be through the roof.
Woo! I'm hoping that if I do draft him, he does not turn out to be a bust. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. You just never know.
Buffalo, the RPO in Buffalo is going to be sick. People are going.
It's going to be hard. They're going to know what to do.
Who to defend in the RPO for them?
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but yeah, hopefully, that doesn't occur. But with these drafts, you can only predict and make your projections, and you never know. It could be the best play in the draft and he turned out to be a bust. It could be a player you expect to be a bust and he turned out to be good. You just don't know.
Absolutely right.
Anything else you want to drop for our viewers?
Nah, that's it.
All right, y'all. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button and leave some comments and let us know your thoughts of Abutta's top 5 rookie running backs ahead of the 2022 NFL draft. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Abutta, for stopping by. Y'all have a great evening. Peace. I guess that's it. We done. I'm sleeping.
Bet. I'm hungry. I'm finna eat.
Yeah, I haven't eaten too. I need to eat too.
Yep.
I don't even want to go to work. I gotta go to work. Damn it.
Well, TJ.
Thanks for listening to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast.